The Miz would claim to Karrion Kross tonight that he apologised for his actions, he's changed, and the Wyatts let him go. Now, it's important to note, as Miz was walking towards the final testament, in the background, you can see Jey Uso talking to Kofi Kingston, once again involving the New Day around the Wyatt final testament angles. But Karrion was not happy. Karrion Kross threatened to break the legs of The Miz, and he dragged The Miz out to the ring, using the Authors of Pain to brutalise The Miz, asking, where are the Wyatts? Well, with the Fireflies signalling the way, the Wyatts were here on Raw tonight, face to face with Final Testament. But it would be The Miz who would be a liar once again, hitting Eric Rowan with a steel chair from behind. The Miz, he's not changed at all. And well, Uncle Howdy knew it. Uncle Howdy knew he'd been fooled, and the Final Testament would beat down the Wyatt Six. What a powerful statement. We theorised that Karrion Kross at least thought he'd have the upper hand in this. And maybe he even did in this moment. But then maybe reality set in as Kross and the Final Testament left. Uncle Howdy just laughed. You've poked the bear, Kross. And for this one, there's definitely going to be hell to pay. And I can't wait to see it. Miz, you're still going to die, my friend. This is things you might have missed from WWE Raw. Make sure you've hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button too. We found out tonight that Gunther will defend the World Heavyweight Championship against Damian Priest at Survivor Series. That's going to be cool. They did a good job of building to this match tonight. As it was advertised, Gunther would start the show talking about Damian Priest. Well, Damian knew it, and he showed up too to hear what Gunther had to say. I've got to be honest, I think this was one of the best Damian Priest promos we've ever seen. He sounded so cool and confident. Who wasn't cool and confident, though, was the champion Gunther, as Damian would get under his skin, almost looking like Gunther was about to actually cry, as Damian would talk about his loss at SummerSlam, losing to Cody Rhodes. And this is literally genius. One of the big concerns people had around the Crown Jewel Championships was someone looking weak. Gunther took the L, so people might assume he looks weak. So now, we are literally doing a redemption storyline for the World Heavyweight Champion. I love that. So I don't think Damian's going to beat Gunther at Survivor Series. What I think is going to happen is Gunther will beat Damian Priest. That will give him his confidence back, and therefore Gunther is back to being Gunther again. Ludwig Kaiser would come out talking trash during this segment, but it was Gunther that stopped him and tried to shut him up. Damian, when he punched him though, look at this. Gunther once again refusing to hit Damian. That confidence is just not there. He is doubting himself, and he just got out of the ring and walked away. Again though, problems within Imperium. Damage Control would take on Pure Fusion Collective in the first match of Raw, where we would see the return of Dakota Kai to WWE. Great to see her back. I thought WWE did a good job before and after the match of advertising the fact Io Sky is the #1 contender for the Women's Championship. Obviously, a little detail you definitely don't want to miss out on. Damage Control would pick up the win tonight. As I said, great to see Dakota Kai back. She looked great in the match. They used her leg injury as part of the match, so I'm sure she is fully healed. The OG Bloodline were backstage on Raw tonight, and this was interesting because they revealed that War Games will be 5-on-5. Sami would tell the Usos to leave the 5th member to him, that he has an idea who it could be. Social media is abuzz with who the 5th member of the OG Bloodline is going to be. I legitimately thought they was going to do 4-on-4, so this came as a huge shock to me, I won't lie. I really love the speculation around Kevin Owens. I don't think Kevin Owens is going to team with the OG Bloodline. But, you know, we keep saying it. If you're going to do 5 members of the OG Bloodline, could Kevin Owens be in the new Bloodline? I don't know. I do feel like that's something that's really being overlooked while we're thinking about the OG Bloodline. The new Bloodline are going to need a 5th member. We know WWE has signed Hikuleo. We know recently Lance Anoa'i was announced. We just don't know. Obviously, backstage tonight, we'd see Bronson Reed, and in the background, Jey talking to Rey Mysterio. People are now speculating Rey could join. I don't think so, just because of Jey's reaction afterwards. Didn't look too promising that Rey would say yes. Seth Rollins was the guy Sami Zayn would approach, but Seth would adamantly say no. Is there time to recruit Seth? I don't know. But maybe they don't have to, as Jimmy would be seen talking to Bron Breakker, and Bron Breakker said he had the time to listen. Bron doesn't have history with Roman Reigns. Could Bron Breakker be in War Games? That would be massive for Bron if it happens. In a dramatic shift, we'd then see the new Bloodline trying to recruit Seth. Now, Seth would say the next time he's in the ring with Roman, it's to stomp his head in. But he said he still won't team with the new Bloodline either. Now, I don't know. I still think there's a chance that Seth could be the fifth man. You could get into the match, you could win the match, and then stomp Roman maybe. Now, I had to include this because this is just hilarious. Someone's getting fired. This is the actual advertisement used on WWE.com. I'm sure it's going to get changed. This is all over social media. If you can't see it yet, Gunther is the Intercontinental Champion on this render. Ouch. Kofi Kingston would stand up for our truth tonight in their disagreement with Butch, Pete Dunne, whatever. But look at Xavier's reaction to Kofi apologising to Truth. Now, look at this. Xavier Woods was wearing a Baron Corbin t-shirt. I feel like that's a massive statement. During the match between Pete Dunne and Kofi, there was problems within the New Day that would directly lead to Pete Dunne picking up the win. And just look at Xavier's reaction. Xavier just could not care. He would help Kofi out of the ring, talking trash to him, and Kofi snapped, pushing Xavier away. Now, I believe we're looking at about 2 weeks for the New Day tribute show. So the live Raw before Survivor Series. They could do it the one after Survivor Series, but I don't think they'll do it past the fact. Do you know what I mean? Dysfunction seems to be contagious in WWE as there is now massive problems within the Judgment Day, with Dom rubbing it in the face of Finn Balor that he beat Damian Priest and came closer to the world title than Finn has in years. This would lead to Finn saying to Dom that family's meant to look out for each other, so why don't you and Carlito face off with the War Raiders next week, obviously ahead of Finn and JD defending the tag team belts against them. I found Liv's reaction in this very interesting. We know Raquel doesn't like Carlito, but Liv is the one that made Finn not get involved in Dom's match last week. Finn would reveal that this week, and obviously Liv would stay in the Judgment Day locker room with Finn when Dom would go to make the match official. Interesting. Bronson Reed would tell Seth Rollins if he wanted revenge, he's right in the ring, come get it. Seth did. The brawl was on. These two hate each other and I love it. Who caught the security guard botching going over the barricade? Brilliant. I'll tell you what we didn't miss, and the security definitely didn't. The suicide dive by Bronson Reed. The brawl would just continue until other officials would come out and break it up. But this would lead to Seth Rollins demanding the match next week. Seth versus Bronson Reed. After what happened at the start of the show, Ludwig Kaiser would go one-on-one with Damian Priest tonight, and it was very short, very Damian Priest orientated match. It probably should have been Damian Priest picking up the win, and then Gunther emerging on the stage, still looking scared, still with that doubt on his shoulders. We also found out that Bron Breakker will face Sheamus next week for the Intercontinental Championship. Obviously, this Intercontinental belt is the one that's eluded Sheamus, and Bron Breakker, well, I'm just pleased to see him back on TV. After winning the IC title, what's it been now, 2 weeks since he's been on the actual show? Heartbreak for me at the end of Raw as Jade and Bianca retain the women's tag belts. Justice! I wanted 3-belt Liv, damn it. But the question is, with all the involvement in this match, with Io Sky coming out at the end as well, is this the start of the build for women's War Games? Fun Raw tonight. There was genuinely quite a lot on the show, and I think it was all good. So for that reason, a very solid 8.5 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, like the video, share the video, and I'll catch you as always next time. Peace!